Retired Texas A&M University chemistry professor Joseph Nochvari wanted to play the violin as a child, but World War II and the communist takeover of his native Hungary dashed that dream. Now, behind his home, he has a workshop where he makes his own violins using methods including chemical treatments he thinks were used by the master violin makers in Italy 3 centuries ago. After examining violins across northern Italy, he found that only the instruments from Cremona and Venice had escaped damage from wood-eating worms.
My conclusion was that in these 2 cities, someone treated the wood with preservatives.
As a chemist, Nochvari was intrigued and began testing various preservatives to see if they affected the sound of violins he made. His breakthrough came after collaborating with colleagues in the geology department at Texas A&M University. Geology professor Ray Gilmet utilized high technology in the form of a microprobe machine that tests the chemical makeup of a substance.
There are times when the machine is not in use on evenings or weekends, and I got permission from my department to use several hours of microprobe time to try to solve this very interesting problem.
He used tiny fragments of wood removed from Stradivari violins when they were being repaired, burned them to a white ash in a laboratory oven, and then tested the ash with the microprobe. The results showed chemicals such as sulfur, chlorine, and boron were present.
These are not present in any of the natural woods, and they show up as very distinct from the natural woods.
Such chemicals are commonly used as preservatives, and this bolstered Professor Nochvari's theory that chemical treatments of the wood had inadvertently produced a better instrument. While many musicians welcomed his research, Nochvari says collectors and dealers in antique instruments were not pleased.
It's easier to sell a Stradivari violin for $5 million when you say it's a product of some sort of mysterious divine inspiration.
While his research has been praised internationally, he says the music world is not so enthused.
I could say that with 1 or 2 exceptions, almost the entire industry was very negative, very antagonistic to a scientist wanting to do this kind of research.
But Nochvari has found enthusiastic support from many violinists, like University of Texas at Austin music professor Brian Lewis, who tested one of Nochvari's violins.
It's got a nice sound. I like it.
But Lewis cannot say this new Texas violin is as good as a Stradivarius simply because an instrument needs to be played for many years to develop its full potential.
It would be a really great thing to compare what one of his violins sounds like after 30,000 hours of playing, because all of those Strads have been, quote-unquote, played in.
The violins of Joseph Nochvari and other violin makers using his technique may someday attain the excellent tone of the Stradivarius, showing that great music can come from chemistry. Greg Flakus, VOA News, College Station, Texas.